Isn't it beautiful to connect with gratitude? Isn't it opening to connect with gratitude? To observe what it is and find yourself in that space, understanding that that is the life that you are co-creating. And when you, with your intention, enter a space and you are in that space connected with your energy of love, you feel that you are calling into creation for beings, physical beings, spiritual beings, that are in alignment with that love that you are feeling. Let's talk about love, but love as a energy, magnetic energy. And most importantly, let's talk love about space. Think of yourself within a cocoon. That cocoon is your space. That cocoon exists within creation, within all the space that it is. But that cocoon that you are in defines all of creation. You make creation to be all that it is based on your cocoon. Creation exists in infinite waves of love, in infinite frequencies of love. You will think time and space. We will define creation as one spark, and each spark and infinite sparks within that spark, and each spark within the spark with a specific frequency. And that specific frequency is defined by the power that has the love in that frequency, the magnetic power, the light that it is in that spark. So you are one spark, but all the sparks become one, while at the same time you can exist as a spark individually. It's not about larger spaces, and it's not about time. It's about a spark that has a loving power, and when that spark is aware of its loving power, it starts growing in light. Think of a sun. Think of many infinite suns making the one sun. And the one sun is the average of all the light of each sun. But you are one of the suns that lives within that sun. And as a sun, you are in charge of your own light. The more you love yourself, the more you connect with love. Because again, if you are the sun and the sun is all that it is, there is nothing else to love, just the love of the self. There is no one to illuminate, but just to illuminate yourself. And everything else exists within you. So how you illuminate others? By illuminating yourself. Because everything that exists within you. There is nothing else outside of you. But you are sharing the same space, the same time, because it's just one space and just one time, with infinite suns that are all coexisting. And the average of all the lights is what you see if you see it from outside, the light of the sun. But going back to you, becoming one spark that give meaning to the average of the love of that spark. You have the power to love. And the more you are aware of that love, the more you are aware of your space, the more you can understand love and work through love and increase love. The more you love yourself, the more you activate love, the more love is in that space, the more love you emanate out of that space. But remember that is within the cocoon that you are in, and nothing exists outside that cocoon. So the more you are emanating love, illuminating your cocoon from within with your love, the more you see that the experiences that are happening within that cocoon are experiences of love, resonating with the love that you are working within you. And that will reflect as loving relationships, loving situations. And when you are in a frequency of love, the things that can manifest within that space must be in alignment with the love that is in you. Now, you will have challenges because you are sparks that are working on activating more and more and more love within, becoming more and more powerful and light, with can be translated as growing in space. Because the brighter you are, the farther you can reach. So, the brighter all the suns are, the brighter the sun become, the further that sun can grow and reach with its light. But it's not about growing and expanding in space. It's actually about becoming brighter and brighter in love. So everything that you are doing, yes, is affecting the sun, the spark, because it's the average of everyone, every individual spark. But for you, your spark is all that it is. Knowing that you are part of the average, you contribute to increase that average. The sun, understand that is the combination of infinite suns, because it knows that can grow faster in love if each sun within itself can grow in light and love. Because the more suns it creates within itself, the more experience can reach, the more understanding can reach, and the faster can feel and go through the process of creating within more love. So that is the idea of oneness. But now go into you. The more you are connected to love, and perhaps you have to release a little bit like the idea of how love is explained or defined in physicality. Love is being present within yourself, accepting yourself, accepting every experience, and finding how every experience make you grow, make you brighter. Some experiences are more challenging than others, and that makes it difficult for you to find the growth, the understanding in them. So you have to work more time, which means you have to see that experience from more angles to understand the love from that experience. Other experiences are easier, and you find love right away. You divide that through times. So you see experience and you cannot identify love in that experience. Let's give that 2 hours in your time. At the same time, if you look outside your dimension, you are observing that experience from a different angle. But that can be for you 1 more year or perhaps another lifetime. But the idea is eventually you will find the angle to find love in that experience. And when you find love in that experience, you become that experience. The love in that experience become your love. Think of you going and collecting love through every experience. As every experience has a coin of gold. And when you get the love in that experience, is you grabbing that coin. And now that coin shines in you. So how you grow is by finding love through every experience. By looking at the situation from all possible angles until you find the love. And when you find the love in that experience, that love becomes part of who you are. Now, let's create a scale, 0 to 100. When you started as a star, as a spark, as a sun, you started with 0 love. The more experiences you have dealt with, the more coins you are collecting. And this is not defined by one lifetime. It defines yourself through all the experiences of all your existence, through all the bodies that you had, in all the dimensions that you are actually living. In this unique and only one moment that you exist. But the more experiences you had, and the faster that you were able to recognize the love of that experience, the faster you collected that gold coin. And that gold coin makes you raise your number in the scale from 0 to 5, because now you have 5 coins, which actually makes your life a little bit better, because now your space resonates with 5. So now you are getting experiences that reflect 5, which is better than reflecting experiences that are aligned with 0. Okay, so now you have experiences that resonate in around 5. Eventually you find the love in all those experiences. You collect the coin of each experience. You collect 5 extra coins. That becomes your loving power. So now your frequency goes from 5 to 10. So now you are 10 in the frequency of love, which means that the space that emanate from you and the situations that can live within that space have to be aligned to 10. You can have 1 9 and 1 11, but the average have to be 10. And again, experiences that are of a range of 10 are much easier than experiences that are in the range of 1 or 2. Again, you go through those experiences, you find the love in each experience, you gain more coins. Now you are at 20 because you have 20 coins. You become 20. Your space now resonates at 20. The experiences that come to your life are all in the range of 20. They look, feel, sound much, much loving than the ones that you had at 0 or at 5. So, do you have an idea where we're going? That is all that it is. You becoming more and more loving so you can create a space of love. So the situations that come into your space resonate with that frequency. And it's easier for you to find love faster. And that's how you grow. And that's how you bring more light into the one spark. By being in the space of love. We say being in love. And the idea of finding love is connected to acceptance. Is connected to how easy it is for me to fully accept this situation, to fully accept that other person that is coming into my life, to fully accept what is happening, because accepting is an act of love. Every time you are judging and not accepting, you are not connected to that experience. So the connection, the magnetic power doesn't click. When you accept the experience, when you understand that that person that is hurting you is an aspect of the same spark, and no matter what that person is creating for you, it is okay for you. Then what happens is, when you are accepting, there is a power that brings you together. So the magnetic power of love gets activated. Now, that person and that experience are magnetically connected to you, so you created love there. When you create love through your magnetic power, now you are bringing that into you. You are bringing it closer to you until it comes into you. You make it a part of who you are. That's the coin that you get. For example, you have a situation with your father, and you say, you point the finger, you judge his behavior, you judge their relationship. You are disconnected from your father. There is a possible gold coin there, but you cannot bring it because there is no acceptance, not love. The moment you decide to accept, you accept that being a part of you, an expression of you and a part of yourself, the string, the cord gets created. That's the magnetic power. That's what you call love. The moment that cord is created, now you are attracting that into you. In a way, you are eating that situation. And when you eat that, that is your gold coin. Now becomes part of who you are. And the more you learn, the faster you learn, that is all about looking at something, loving that unconditionally, and then understanding that it's a part of who you are. When you understand that it's a part of who you are, you start calling that into you. You are bringing it into your heart. You create the cord, and then the magnetic power start bringing it into your heart. That situation, the image of that person becomes your gold coin, and then the moment that gets into you, that you fully accepted it into you, you are swallowing that gold coin, and then that gold coin is a part of who you are, and you become brighter. Again, you reflect now a brighter space. Do you have any question? Is this way of explaining creation and how you exist and how important is acceptance for you to develop your loving power, for you to upgrade and become more loving, make more loving the space that you are in, so more loving situations come into your space, and easier is for you to love what it is in that space and bringing it into you? Is this clear for you, or do you have any questions? Specific questions that can help us go deeper into this explanation.
I think the only thing I'd comment, Laura, is I guess there's almost like a cosmic sadness to think, too bad there isn't this school of understanding when we're young to really keep looking at things through that lens of the gift that our parents gave us.
Are you in a frequency of love when you are describing how that situation is?
Yeah.
When you
I'm
say too bad, are you appreciating without judgment the way that society is?
well, I'm I guess longing for more of a school of understanding when kids are little.
Longing for more is not accepting that you are already in a perfect state of love. Love is not there, that's why you are longing for love. So you're not able to see love in what it is yet. Can you connect with this understanding? You're still not finding the love in what it is. When you make a comment that says, I'm longing for, why not to find the love in what it is at this moment? Your society is working in a specific way. Can you make your task finding love in what it is? In a state of wanting to be in a different frequency, in a different space, because if you don't find it in what it is, you can now move to the next situation, to the next reality that will show more love.
Is there a difference between appreciation and love?
Appreciation is part of love. Appreciation is finding love in what it is, without judging that what it is not perfect and it's not loving in the way that you want to see it. But you are finding love in what you are seeing.
I guess that's something I'm going to have to assimilate more, because I guess where I go is thinking, if you love everything as it is, how do you ever strive to improve a situation that you think could be better? Or
Yes, because when you love what it is and you love what it is, you're not saying it with your mind, you accept what it is. You find the love, the little pieces, sparks of love in that what it is. Imagine that you are looking at what it is, okay? And what you're looking, where you're looking at what it is, it has a range of things. Let's give it again 0 to 10. So you're looking at what it is. There is an average of 5, which you will judge it's not good. I want 10. So you would just not connect with that it is in front of you because it's not the 10 that you want. So at that point, you're not creating any connection with that situation because you're still judging it that is not loving. You are expecting that 5 to move to 10. You are judging that is not good enough. You are judging that is not loving, so you cannot create the connection, the cord between you and that situation, which means you are not able to bring that situation into your heart and eat it and grow through that situation because you are not creating the connection. But now, you look at that situation, an average of 5, and you start looking the 10s that situation had. It has some 1s, some 2s, some 3, but there are some 9 and some 10s. So what happened is you dig yourself into those 9 and 10. And imagine that at that point, you are start to creating some little cords, not to the whole situation, but to the 9 and the 10s. Which means you're bringing that experience a little bit closer to you. Not close enough because you don't have the power to attract that situation, because there are some, you just have tiny little cords to only the 9 and the 10s. But the more you bring that situation, the closer you bring it into you, the more you are affecting that situation if you are vibrating in 10. Because the moment that the situation comes closer, it has to be more and more aligned with the source that is in you. So now there's gonna be more 9 and 8 and 10. Some of the 7 will become 9. Some of the 6 will become 8. So you'll find more things that you will throw the cord and attach to it. So now your loving power is a little bit stronger, so you can bring that situation a little bit closer to you. When that situation comes closer to you, again, more of the 3s and the 4s and the 5 will have to align to the 10 that you are. So there will become more 8s and 9s and 10s. So now you will have the power to throw more little cords. Your magnetic power is closer. So what you have to do is start looking for the little things that can help you connect some chords at the beginning and start bringing that situation closer to you. So that situation will resonate better with your frequency. Now, every time that you judge that situation that is not what you want, you're cutting cords. So that situation is going away and away from you, getting less light from you, being more of what that situation could be. So you are not having an impact, you are not having a power over that situation. You have more power over the situation the closer you bring the situation to you. The more you love that situation, the stronger your power to bring it into you, the stronger you are with your light affecting that situation. It's like you're throwing little cords more and more until you are strong enough to start pulling it in, pulling it in, pulling it in until you can swallow it. And that is when you love everything as it is. But you can start working on transforming that situation, bringing it closer and closer to you. The closer the situation comes to you, the more the situation will align to your light. The easier will be for you to keep throwing cords at it. The more cords, the easier to pull it in. So what we will suggest, instead of saying, this is how I wish this could be, is to start looking at what is already in it, that you already love it. And you have expressed how much you love nature, how much you love animals. Find more things to love without judging what is not perfect yet. and concentrate on that love without judging. Because if you love something very, very much, you are pulling it in, but then you are judging, oh, but this is not me, you are cutting cord. So you are going back and forth. That space, that situation moves closer to you and away from you, closer to you and away from you. If you direct your energy to look at the good, to find more good, you'll have more strength and bring it closer and closer, and you'll find that there is more things that are in alignment with what you are and who you are and your frequency. Is this helping you?
Yes, thank you.
We are sharing how it works. We are not telling you how you have to see things, how you can judge all you want. We are just sharing with you how things work outside your cocoon. So that way you know how to work from your cocoon to make things go faster and easier for you. But again, time doesn't exist. Space doesn't exist. It's all about alignment with light, with love, with magnetic power, pulling things into you. And the only way you can do that is by loving things. The more you eat, the bigger you get, the brighter you get. But in order to eat, you have to love that situation, so that way you can bring that situation into you. It's like seeing an apple. You see that apple is loving perfect, and you're gonna bite it and eat it. You see a plate with poop, you don't wanna eat that. But the work is to start looking what is the loving parts of that plate of poop. And that poop, eventually, if you find loving things, eventually that poop become an apple that you want to eat fully. So because of the long journey that you've been navigating, you are not seeing poop anymore. You are not at that level. But you are not at the level of seeing all as apples either. So for you, as an average, because you decided to live in this environment, to take the lessons of this environment, for you it's more about something in between, closer to the apple. But it's an apple that still is not tempting to eat it right away. So you have to make it first a apple that is ready to eat. So that way you just grab your hand, take it and eat it. Is this clear? Any other question? As you can see, the questions are very helpful. So what we
actually,
go ahead.
Laura, I'd like to kind of connect this with yesterday. Okay, this was very helpful. Okay, and yesterday was very helpful too, to see the different aspects of herself. The Mars and the Venus, and how they're both important, and to have that balance. Um, and the flow, more about the flow of it. So you're kind of talking about that today too, about you need to be in the flow of those, both receiving and giving, to be able to love more too, right?
We are not talking right now are receiving and giving, because receiving and giving is going deeper into how you work within physicality. At this point, we are talking about how creation works. For you to know that you are a part of that creation, loving something, accepting something creates a magnetic power that you can bring closer and closer into you. To fully love something and make it a part of you, so you'll be more loving and your space will be more loving. So that is how creation works. And then we can go deeper into how you work within creation, but within your dimension. Because not in all dimensions you're defining Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars are tools that you have within your agreements of this dimension. Venus and Mars are sources, channels for you to understand how attract things. There are aspects of the love, but exist within your space. What we were talking earlier is how creation works for all of us, not just human beings, but everything that exists. Can you understand the difference?
Yes, like that.
We
The love,
outside,
love is the umbrella.
we outside physicality do not work through Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars are tools that you have. Venus and Mars are entities that are agreeing to contribute and helping you. Okay? So we can explain Venus and Mars, but we want you to understand clearly that it works for you within the agreements of your space. Venus and Mars, look at them as entities that have decided to work with you and through you. They're having their own experiences and their own understanding as you channel their energy and you do things with their energies. Okay? So, yes, there are tools that you are using, but by you using those tools, they are having growth and experience as well. But it's within your agreement in this dimension. And this dimension, when we bring Mars and Venus and other entities, you have to think that it's not just the physical aspect of it, but it's dimensions within dimensions, forms within forms. So they are co-creating with you within a dimension, but outside your human physical dimension. Okay? But when we are talking how what is the impact that love and what you need to accept and love, we are talking as the truth that works for everything in creation. We are telling you how creation works. We are telling you love is a magnetic power. And of course, because it's how creation works, it affects your dimension. But not the things happening in your dimension always affect fully the all. So now, understanding this, do you have a question?
No, thank you. That was great because I can see now that it's like using Venus and Mars are tools to help us get to love. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah, okay,
But
great. Thank you.
the truth that is all about activating your loving power through Mars, through Venus. But it's always come back to activating your loving power, loving yourself. So loving yourself enough to go get what you want and activating your loving power enough to attract what you want to attract. It comes back to the loving power in you and the loving power in you for yourself. Because that is all that it is, yourself. So Venus is calling things in, and Mars is having the direction to go out. But both things function through the truth of love. You being love and creating and navigating and connecting with situations through love. Any other question?
Thank you. That was so helpful.
All right. So deep breath in Exhale and take a moment to feel the space in your center, your heart center, your chest, the space where your heart is. But see if you can connect with that space beyond the ideas of forms, sizes, shapes. See if you can look at your heart center as an open space that exists within you. And it is infinite. Yes, it is in a way within your physical space. So you might see and you might say, well, it's not infinite if it is within my space, and my space is not infinite. But it is infinite in depth. Take a moment and feel how deeper and deeper you can always go. Another deep breath in. Exhale. You don't grow outwardly. You go within. The infinity exists within. The journey goes within. The direction is within. Even if you see that there are things outside of you in your physical reality, those are illusions. What is real is the space that goes within to infinity. And it is that space that is within that creates the illusion of what you see outside. Your physicality, your physical body, is the last layer of all that it is. What you see, you are creating images and situations into the nothingness. The connection, the journey, the infinity is a walk, a path that you do when you go within that space in your heart center. It is in that heart center, at the end of that infinite path, that you find the spark that you are, where you contain all that loving power. And the more you bring to the surface that loving power, the more light to bring into all that it is, to all the space that is within you. Deep breath in. Exhale. We are all connected through love. And that's why we are getting closer and closer. Because our love, our magnetic power is becoming stronger and stronger. The more you are learning to love us, the closer you bring us to you. The more you accept all of us, the closer you bring us to you. Deep breath in. Exhale. And when you feel ready, open your eyes.